Oh, I think I've had a hiccup here in the introduction. But anyway, so let's start off again. This is episode number 46. And I'm talking today about dream jobs in my Tuesday at 2. I don't know what went wrong with my introduction, but hopefully you got the music, but then it didn't connect with the live introduction. So we're going to talk about want your dream job. Everybody has dreams. I have dreams. I bet everybody watching today has dreams. So here are my 5 tips, but a little bit about me first. Those of you who've been watching me for the last 46 Tuesdays at 2 will know exactly what I do, but there's many new viewers. My name is Martin Buckland, and I call myself an executive career management practitioner. So I manage and advance the careers of senior executives and those who aspire to be business leaders. I'm also a global expert in managing and advancing the careers of EMBA, so Executive Master of Business Administration, and a global expert in mining. Why? Because the backbone of our economy, where I am right now, here in Canada, is mining. 81% of the world's head offices of mining are based here in Toronto or Vancouver. So I'm going to talk about how to get your dream job. I dream, you must dream. Dreams mainly take place at night when you're fast asleep, but then you can execute those dreams. Everybody has a dream, and I know many of my clients they've got their dream job by listening to their their internal feelings and where they want to go, and then executing that. So I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to get your dream job. Number 1, you need to expand your network. The crux of good career management, not just getting your dream job, but good career management is networking, meeting as many people as you can within a niche. Don't be like that. You need to hone down and be targeted. So, who is your niche? Who are your targets? So this all goes into getting into your dream job. So expand your network from the day you leave college, university, or any other academic institution through to the day you retire. You need to expand your network. So interact with people, both who can be hiring authorities like executive recruiters, HR professionals, and acquaintances who can maybe generate leads, or industry gurus, people you admire or that you dream to be in 10 or 15 years. So network, network, network. Be bold. Those people who sit back on their couch and think that the network is going to come to them, it doesn't. You need to be bold and you need to get out there. So come out of your comfort zone, especially if you're an introvert, and get out there. Network, network, network. Even in today's economy, where we can't meet too many people because of COVID and social distancing, you can meet online. There's no excuses. It's a bit tougher, but there aren't any formal networking groups in person today. But there will be, hopefully. Keep your fingers crossed. So get out there and network. Be bold. Please come forward with some questions. If you've got any questions, I'm more than happy to answer those questions as it unfolds. Anything to do with career management. So be on social media. Social media is a platform. It's there for you to network, to connect with decision makers, to connect with people of authority in your industry, people who can probably help you, give you some advice, and maybe generate leads for you. So be bold. Get out on social media. Number 2, target market. So it's no use you being like this. You have to be narrow. The narrower you are, what is your niche? Find your niche and network within that niche. So be bold and target market. Research, research, research. Who are the decision makers in that particular market who can help you generate leads, be of advice, be a coach, be a mentor to you. So look for those people in your particular area. Number 3, match your skills. So what are your skills? We each have our own personal soft skills, our personal skills. We each have our own hard skills. I'm an expert. You are an expert. So think about what is your niche and how you're going to get from A to B. So match those skills. If you want extra skills, today there are thousands and thousands of opportunities. You don't even have to leave your own home to learn new skills. You can go to a local community college online. You can go to a community college or university right the other side of the world for next to nothing. So enhance those skills. This is where you build your dream. I want to be here. I had one client many years ago who wanted to be a NASA astronaut. Well, I'm going to say probably about 2013, 2014. No, maybe earlier than that. He actually was a NASA astronaut. And I was fascinated by watching him go up and coming back down again. So hopefully he met his dream and you can meet your dream. So target market, but research within that market. Match your skills, new skills, get new skills. Being LinkedIn is good. Sorry, I can hardly see this one, but it's good. But I believe most used for resume posting. Any strategies for securing engagement with, let's put this, bring this one up. This is a good question. Being on LinkedIn is good, but I believe most use for resume posting, not necessarily, but yeah, it does help. Any strategies for securing engagements with persons with an initial invite? So yeah, I find many accept invite but not respond to the inquiry. Would be harder to be secure in an information interview, but easier said than done. Yeah, and I'm with you. I always, it's a point of mine, George, I always send a personal invite. Networking is very personal. The more personal you are, the more rewards, the more opportunities, the more giving from other people you will get. So, but you also have to conquer the fear of rejection. Unfortunately, not everybody's going to accept you instantly. So you need to be. People don't understand the concept of networking. My philosophy as a career management professional is that hopefully those people who don't network with you right now while you're in career transition or looking around for your next opportunity will be in career transition themselves in 6 months, a year, and then they might want you. So the reverse will be, and then they understand the concept of networking, but you need to network. So match your skills, harness your soft and hard skills, and make sure that you have all your soft and hard skills documented in your resume and on your LinkedIn. Number 4, be realistic. So when I took on that client many years ago, I'm going to say a good 22 years ago, this client said to me, he was a fighter pilot, so he was sort of well in the way. He said, I want to be a NASA astronaut. I was very skeptical about whether he could be a NASA astronaut. You work the facts and figures out. It's very low numbers on people who actually reach the NASA astronaut crew training program. It's very, very small. Lots of people want to be an astronaut. I admire that ambition, that drive. I didn't want to say anything, but I could tell just by his attitude, he was driven. He could have self-propelled to the moon himself. He was really focused on that dream job. He had this dream, he told me, when he was a kid, when he watched Neil Armstrong go to the moon, and then he had it in his mind, he was going to be a NASA astronaut. I believe is retired from NASA right now, but he's gone back into public life. But yeah, it was an interesting character. But I remember he had that dream, and I helped nurture and coach that dream out of him into reality. So be realistic. It's no use you thinking, I have the skill sets. I don't have the skill sets, but I want to be an astronaut. He was already a fighter pilot, so he already had lots of skill sets that they at NASA were looking for when he went in the entry program. And that's a very brutal program. Doesn't happen overnight. You're not a NASA astronaut just like that. You get accepted to the program, and you probably won't go up there for about 8 to 10 years or even more. So be realistic. Set realistic goals. Don't be like all this. You need to narrow it down. Number 5, plan and execute an ambitious job search. It's no use you being lackadaisical and sitting back and just thinking no job search or the opportunities will come to you. You need to be proactive. You need to get out there and you need to uncover the opportunities, because the bulk of opportunities are never advertised. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, the bulk of opportunities are hidden. And this is where you can uncover your dream job. So who are the companies? Who are the positions? What do you want to go and work for? Who do you want to go and work for? So go and think about that, and document it, and then plan it out. It's like a plan of attack. And then once you get into that attack mode, really be ambitious and put a lot of time, a lot of effort, and to conquer that fear of rejection, because you will get lots of rejection. And then just finishing this Tuesday at 2 off, it's your resume, your CV, depending on where you are. You need a stellar resume, CV, and you need a LinkedIn profile that's going to attract interest. It's no use you having a skeleton LinkedIn profile. You need to be proactive. You need to have the resume, CV, and your LinkedIn profile. You need to be brutal, because people want to know you. The more people that know you, and the more people that want to connect with you, that everybody has a network. Everybody you connect with today, tomorrow, next week has a network. And you can ask that network for favors, ask that network for leads. So if anybody's got any questions, anybody else got any questions on career management? It doesn't have to be just today's topic, which is a dream job. Yeah, we all want a dream job. I actually have a dream job. I get my clients from across the world. A lot of them get their dream jobs by me facilitating it or helping them, coaching, nurturing them, pushing them, mentoring them. So that gets me excited. I have my dream job. There is no reason why, even in today's economy, you cannot get your dream job. Anybody got any other questions? Oh, somebody's come out here. Hang on just 1 second. What are your thoughts on professional headhunters or other ways to be on their radar for positions that may not be publicly available? That's a great question. So I will do Tuesdays at 2, and I'm actually going to interview on my forthcoming podcast some executive recruiters. They prefer to be called executive recruiters. Get on their radar. If it's a big company, one of the big global firms or a big domestic one, they normally have, what do they call them? Researchers. So go in, call the office and say, I'm looking for the researcher for Joe Smith, who's the recruiter for finance, and then ask him, ask them for the researcher's name, and then see if you can build a relationship with her, with the researcher. It's all relationship building. The whole of career management is relationship building. If you don't build relations, your career will be on hold for X number of years. So go and see if you can know somebody who knows that person using LinkedIn and see whether they can introduce you. They might know that executive recruiter very well. I would also suggest you post send your resume, but this is a good tip. Send your resume by FedEx, by UPS, or whatever, because we open those envelopes. They're important because you spend a lot of money. So they open those documents before they open the plain vanilla manila envelopes that you need to spend a little bit of money, and FedEx or UPS or whatever your resume, as well as sending it via email, because executive recruiters get on average 50 requests for resumes and introductions every day. So they don't work for you, they work for the client at the other end. What is the difference about what is different about looking for an executive role? Well, you have to be, the further you go up the ladder, the less jobs there are. So right at the top of the pyramid, at the C-suite, there are less jobs. So you are in a more of a competitive stance. So you have to be more aggressive, more ambitious, you have to put more time into your career management and your job search. And career management, job search isn't just while you're in career transition. Career management is 365 days of the year, 24/7, 365. Those who manage their career while gainfully employed then get, when they are in career transition, land a job far faster than those people who didn't manage their careers and build relationships. Another question here. What if people do not know what they want, or they are good at, or if it is in a profession that is in the current economy does not value? Okay, so you have to know where you want to go. There's no use you being like this all over the place, or 180. You need to be down to the 5%. It's like the bullseye. So there are coaches like me who can help define where you want to go, your goals, your ambition, and your dream. So employ a coach, or do some soul searching with some of your friends, some of your buddies, and see what they think of what your skill set is. And then if you're willing to spend money, go and hire a career coach, an executive coach, who can then narrow down all your skills. There's various what they call psychological assessments, career assessments that are available. And you can use those, and they will home in on your skills, and they will help you define where you want to go. So anybody got any other questions? I'd be happy to answer any other questions before we wrap this one up. This is number 46. I'm seeing, if you want to some good news, I'm seeing just in the last week that a lot more jobs are coming down the pipeline, not just here where I am in Canada, but definitely in the US, definitely in the UK, and in all the Western countries to a certain degree. Italy and the southern Mediterranean countries in Europe are still struggling somewhat, but you know what? They will come round. And hopefully hiring by this time next year will be very robust. We will be out of this so-called downtime recession thanks to COVID, and hopefully COVID will be down and narrowed to next to nothing, but it will be very memorable. We've gone through some tough times, but hopefully you've learned a lot about yourself, both your soft skills and your hard skills. Always update your hard skills. Even if it's a couple of days or a day course, always update your skills, because executive recruiters are looking for current education, not something that stopped in 2010 or 2013. You need to update your education. It's another red flag if you haven't got education, most recent education. Another question coming in from Victoria. Advice on how to rebrand maternity leave gap on a CV. Oh, okay. Okay, yes. So you need to, part of the screening process on a CV or a resume is down the right hand margin. Always have the dates in the right hand margin, because that ATS, the applicant tracking system, always has the looks for the dates in the right margin, not in the left margin. And if there's a gap, they're going to say, well, this person was in career transition or whatever. You weren't in career transition. You were on maternity leave. And it's a fact of life that many, many women take time off to be with their newborns. So it's not nothing, not a sin or anything. You just need to show it. The whole crux of a resume or a CV is to be open and honest. Now, I had one client many years ago, I remember it vividly. His wife held a higher position than him. So he decided, she gave birth, and then about 4 or 5 weeks after giving birth, she went back to work. He took time off, and he became a parent. And I put it as oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the term, but I put it as something on his resume that when he went back, he went. It was parental leave, and I can't remember the exact term, but and he got multiple interviews because he was open and honest. He cared for his kids until they were about twins, till they were about 2 or 3, and then he decided it's time now to go back to work. So be open and honest. Hide all those gaps. You may take time off because of looking after the family, or looking after your elderly parents, or you may have taken a sabbatical, gone to an academic sabbatical, gone and done a degree, a master's degree or a PhD or something else. But be open and honest. Always show the reason why you took time off in your CV and your resume. Hopefully that will cover that off. Don't leave it a gap, because instantly when the eyes go down, they're going to think negatively about you. You don't want anything negative. They're going to hire you because you're positive and you're open and you're honest. Anybody got any other questions? Well, perhaps we'll wrap this up right now. Thanks for your questions. Next week, the Tuesdays at 2 will be on the topic of I want to relocate. So I'm a global guy. I currently work with clients in 30 plus different countries, and I help people relocate across the world. I've got some really good stories of people going from country to country to country. We are in a multinational, geography is no hindrance. Borders are no hindrance in hiring today, but you just have to have the right tools, the right tricks to get from this country to that country. I think we've got another question here. Let's go and have a look. George, then would it seem to make sense and then be honest in the interview? Yeah, honesty, you can't wander from honesty. So they're going to ask you, well, tell me a little bit about your parental leave, or tell me a little bit about your sabbatical. Was it academic? Was it looking after a travel sabbatical or whatever? But just be open and honest. Those people that would be appreciated by a hiring authority far more than those people who hide something or don't be open and honest. So hopefully that's helped you. George has got another question here. You're coming out with some good questions here, George. If you have a severance period, it is best to not to extend your last position to the date of the severance end if you don't make the first cut in a resume as a result. Okay, so that's a good question. So I normally, it depends on the arrangement you have with your company, but if you're terminated today and your severance is through to the end of the year, you can technically put that you're still gainfully employed through to the end of the year. But you can navigate around LinkedIn, put the open to work, the green thing around your portrait picture, and be aggressive in your job search. But on your resume, you can still show that you are gainfully employed. There's various ways to skin the cat. Each one's different, depends on what your relationship, what you've agreed with your ex-employer as well. Another question. We're having some good questions here. Will you also speak about remote or virtual work in a future session? Yeah, I can do that. I'll put that down in one of my next Tuesdays or two. I've actually got them scheduled now through to the end of the year, but I'll see if I can squeeze in one. I'm actually going to start another Thursdays at 4 or something. I haven't decided yet, but a lot of people are asking me to share my value. My knowledge, so I'll be more than happy to share details. So Raya, hi Raya, you've been on before, I know. Let's have a look. How far back should you date your jobs on your CV? When is it too old? Wow. So some of my colleagues will disagree with what I have. It's back to honesty. It's back to telling the truth. We all age. You can't get around age. We get into our 50s, and people, even this blows me away. Even people who graduated in 2010 now are leaving the dates off their resume because, believe it or not, they think they're too old. Like, it blows me away. They've got so much career to go. So they're just at the beginning of their career. So I'm a great believer in going back about 20 to 25 years and then dropping the dates off. But it depends on the industry, it depends on the person as well. But don't hide dates if it's recent, because that definitely sends the red flag off. I can. That's a good one. I think I will actually put that on another Tuesdays at 2, because I can talk for hours, and then hopefully I'll get a couple of executive recruiters in. So Mark, hi Mark, how are you? You jest. Okay, so you can be Mark. I know you not too well, but I know if you have the drive, you definitely have the business savvy. It's not being a hockey on the ice, it's having that business savvy. So I would try it and go for it. I'm not too sure about the Montreal Canadiens, but well, we could discuss that a long time. But no, don't think if anything is out of your realm. It is within your realm if you've got the skill set. The Montreal Canadiens or Toronto Maple Leafs or whatever, they are looking for business people at the leadership level. They're not looking for you to be a good hockey player. They're looking for you to lead. So, what is your business skills? Can you lead? Can you? I know you have the passion for hockey, so you need to put that on your LinkedIn profile and whatever. So, anybody got any other questions? So hopefully next week I can get the introduction synergizing with the me coming live on air. So we'll work on that one, but baby steps. So thanks for having me on Tuesdays at 2. Hopefully I will see you next week when we will be talking about relocation. So I'm here in Toronto. You can relocate to London. You can relocate to New York. I'll tell you some interesting stories of how people have relocated. Melissa, hi Melissa, how are you? How should you balance industry versus skills? For instance, if in IT, do you show the tech side only, or should you also emphasize specific industry experience? Oh, wow, that is a really loaded question. I could keep you busy here till Tuesdays at 3. But no, just kidding. You need to, if you're in IT, you need to show that you were brought up within IT and the skill sets you learn, the programs you learn. But the higher you go, the less important those programs or applications or whatever, hardware, software, whatever you want to call it, are important at the CIO, CTO, vice president level, but they are very important when you start off. But you need to show that you understand that. So, if you're one of these people, and not everybody or every leader can do this, but I believe you can. I can't remember. I did write your resume. You can, if you can show that you understand technology and then you can break it down, simplify it for a person like me who can barely get by in Windows in the morning. So you need to show that being able to articulate your technical jargon. So hopefully that is, but industry experience is good. So right now, when hiring there's a lot more talent on the market than there was, say, 15 prior to COVID. There's a lot more talent on the market, although IT, doesn't matter where you are in the world, they're hiring furiously. But industry experience, there's a lot more talent. They look at your industry experience more so right now than when prior to COVID, when there was an acute shortage of good IT leaders. By the way, there still is a shortage of IT leaders. So I would, be furious in putting a convincing. Everything is, when you go for a job search, it's a business case. You are selling yourself. You are putting a business case on the value and why that employer, whoever they may be, anywhere in the world, should engage you. And that's what an interview is. It's a two-way street. It's a conversation between people to see if you are a match and you match that culture. You have all those soft, you have all those hard skills. So some great questions here. Anybody got any other questions? Otherwise, I will wrap it up. Hopefully that answers your question, Melissa. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in this week. So hopefully I will see you next week. Melissa, if you're still on, I'm doing a special EMBA live online on 10 a.m. Eastern on May the 15th. So I will email you a graphic, and hopefully you can share it amongst your Triumph peers. Thanks, AD. It's a pleasure. And I'm more than happy to give anybody who's listening right now a free, no obligation resume critique. I'm going to put in my address. I'm more than happy to give a free, no obligation resume critique. And I will send it over to me at this address, and then tell me that you were in this. You were on Tuesdays at 2, and I will then give you a half an hour of my time. I say it as it is because you only get one kick of the can. I'm very realistic, but a resume gets you in the door. It doesn't get you a job. It gets you the interview. It doesn't get you a job. So remember that. So hopefully people will send their resumes to me for free, a free resume critique. Have a great week. Remember, manage your career 24/7, 365, because you need to be in charge of your career, not your employer. Have a great week.